Hey there guys, Frankomatic here, and this is a still image. For those of you who can't read Japanese, this is Captain Tsubasa, Volume 2, Super Storaika. It is a game based on the Captain Tsubasa manga and anime series that started up in 1981. As you can see from the trademark, this came out in 1990 on the Famicom. We did not get this game. We did get the first one, though, which was changed to Tecmo Cup soccer game, I believe, and had all the anime license removed from it. So why are we not playing that one, you might ask? Well, it's not very good. It's got a lot of quality of life features not existing yet, and more importantly, the entire first half of that game will eventually be covered by the latter half of the Sega CD game that I'm currently streaming. So, little background. Captain Tsubasa is about Ozora Tsubasa, a elementary school kid at the beginning of the story who really likes soccer and leads his elementary school to victory in the National Cup, and then leads his junior high school team to 3 victories in the National Cup, though the last is shared with the rival school Toho Academy. After that, and at the latter half of the first game, they form a Japan national team of the best middle school players and go off to Europe to play in an invitational international tournament, which they win against Germany in the final. The manga and the anime are pretty good. There's a new anime that's going to be starting up in April, which may or may not see release outside of Japan, hard to say. And there is currently a mobile game, if you're interested in that kind of thing, that plays a lot like this one. Because this game will probably not be everybody's cup of tea, I will probably do some videos here and there of other things as well, so don't worry. This game is pretty long and pretty difficult, but I think it's worth sharing because it has some pretty good music. The game plays pretty nicely, if not very difficultly later on. And it's just something I kind of like. I started doing this once way long ago, but didn't think I could handle it alone, and now I think maybe I can, with some help. So I'm going to stop rambling, and let's bring that helper on in. Alright. If I get this all set up right, in the end, we should be fresh off of a stupid intro that explained a little bit about things.
Yay!
But here's the intro to the game we're playing. Also, Sess is here now.
Hey there, dudos and dudoritas. I remembered my threat.
So anyways, this game is the second Captain Tsubasa game, and they messed up Wakabayashi's stupid acronym there. This year, the World Cup will take place in Brazil.
CT2 ENG 2007.
This is Captain Tsubasa, Volume 2, Super Striker.
Okay. So he's not an ace striker anymore.
And we're doing this commentary post because this game is notoriously difficult after a point, so rather than subject you to the constant failure of the stream of the Sega CD version, I'm trying to do this a little more reasonably and only inflict this suffering upon myself.
That's mainly so that I actually am willing to come along.
Also, I just mentioned that they won the World Cup in Germany, which I'm pretty sure is an incorrect translation. That's a reference to the end of the last game, which I'm pretty sure was not the World Cup. seeing as how the only other teams in it were European teams. And also is following the manga, so I'm pretty sure that's just the International Youth Tournament from the end of the first manga.
Okay.
But now we're in Brazil. Because after winning that tournament, Tsubasa went off with Roberto to Brazil. And now he's joining the Sao Paulo Football Club.
Flamengo. Oh, it's a team name.
Yep. Carlos Santana is someone we'll talk about later, when he becomes a bit more relevant.
Sounds like a musician to me.
I know, weird, right?
Yeah, totally.
This is Yoko. Yoko Katagiri. Also, she's familiar with Tsubasa because Munemasa Katagiri is a member of the Japan National Soccer League thing, and is in fact the guy who is usually in charge of the Japan national team, which Tsubasa was on at the end of the previous game.
Okay.
I don't know why they gave him the sister for this game.
So, they were like... She was like, say hi to my brother for me.
Basically.
That's really weird. What a weird family relationship.
It gets weirder later, if you remember that she said that. So anyways, here we are. Just like the Sega CD version, we can talk, except since this is translated, we can understand it.
Right.
And Roberto is not wrong there. It went by a little fast, but he was like, don't worry about these guys, they stink.
Alright.
And they do. So let's look at our team a little bit. Here we can do a bunch of stuff. We can change our formation. It's completely unnecessary, this match.
Oh my gosh. These are miserable to read.
And now we can look at everybody's status. Most of our players are kind of bad. Tsubasa is, of course, absurdly better than everybody else on this team right now. And he has these special moves.
Drive, please.
And they're gonna kinda... This is gonna happen because I couldn't remember how to get out of this part of the menu. Gil is alright. He's good with aerial shots. Babington is actually really good. And there is one defender who's pretty good. I think it's... Amaral? No, it's Donald. Dotil? Amaral's pretty good too. Those two are also pretty okay. This was me actually looking back as I noticed his highball skills are actually really good. But most of this team is garbage, and the goalkeeper is distinctly average.
Oh.
Luckily, it's okay. Oh, and here's Carlos.
Hey. You look grumpy.
I've got words about Carlos, but I'm going to save it until when he's actually relevant and not just a background character.
Look at that rainbow-colored stadium.
That's the audience cheering in rapidly changing colors.
Okay.
Also, I left this in. This will be the only time, because unlike the Sega CD version, it's not nearly as interesting. But the music is good.
Oh my god.
Also, this is the only way to see this animation, is by letting this play once.
Wake up. Hey.
And this is the Sao Paulo Football Club theme.
Why is he purple?
Also, I've seen labeled as Tsubasa's theme. Get used to it, it's going to be our We Have the Ball theme for the first chunk of the game.
Great.
Luckily, it's pretty okay. So this play is a lot like the Sega CD one, unsurprisingly. Animations and things are obviously a little simpler, but... yeah, that went poorly. And this is Tsubasa's Rivals, I believe it's titled.
Also purple.
Just take that back, yeah. And nobody on this team is particularly worth worrying about. There are two kinds of players in this game on the enemy team. There are people that are just referred to as just enemy number whatever, and then people with names. The only ones you really need to worry about are the ones that have names. Nobody on this team has a name. Oh, and here's me trying to be fancy. And use this little maneuver, the through, to distract the goalkeeper. And it does work.
Oh.
Doesn't matter that didn't work because their goalkeeper is awful. Pretty much any shot you take will be able to get past that goalkeeper as long as you're not firing from, like, your goal. And just like in the Sega CD version, tackling has a better chance of getting the ball away from people that are dribbling, even though it failed there. Pass cutting will stop passes, blocking will stop shots. And here's our goalkeeper, Leonard.
Good job, Leonard.
Leonard is 100% just average, which will become a problem later. But he is totally serviceable for this match. One-two is a really good way to just get around enemy players without trying to actually confront them directly.
So far, I haven't seen any weird bendy shins in this one, so...
They do not have those, yeah.
That's very nice.
So here I decided, well, he's good at dribbling, so let's try and dribble past the goalkeeper. And if you do that, you get a free shot. Unless an enemy player happens to be close enough. Or unless you get extra lucky and it hits the post. Again, because this match is pretty easy, I decided to try and screw around a bit. And do things way more difficultly than is strictly necessary. Tsubasa's drive pass is just a harder to stop pass. I don't use it at all in this match because he's already just ludicrously better than everybody in the other team. And this is the guy that I noticed has really good skills with high shots. So I decided to see how that works out. It didn't work out so great.
Do your skills level up in this one? As you use them?
I don't think they level up as you use them in this one, but players do level up.
Okay.
Which makes their skills go up.
Okay.
Right now everybody's level 1, so nobody's very good. Also, as you may or may not suspect, given that this is a game that ends up being about Japan, most of the players on this team are not going to be with us for an extremely long time.
So we won't always have purple teammates.
No. I really probably shouldn't have been trying to hammer on scoring a goal at this point, considering after a corner kick there's like a million dudes in front of the goal. Thought maybe I could sneak a shot by, but didn't really have any luck. And here's our good defender. It was the interesting mix of very dark-skinned and also blonde.
He might just really like the sunshine.
Tsubasa looks really out of place on this team. In this match, you can pretty literally just give the ball to Tsubasa, have him run by everybody, and score absolutely no difficulty, like 8 times in a row if you want to.
You get experience based on how many goals you score.
I'm not 100% certain how that works, because experience is not a number you ever get to see anywhere.
Oh. Ouch.
I like some of these names, like Batista. Also, there's a bit of weirdness with the capitalization sometimes in this patch, because I think a lot of it was just straight up, okay, turn the hiragana into Romaji, and then work from there, rather than actually rewriting it all.
Or possibly katakana.
Yeah. Oh no, they made a breakaway. This would be extremely dangerous if any of these guys were actually threatening. Volley shots and headshots are actually stronger than just plain regular shots. So part of what you want to do is keeping the guys out of your penalty area if you can. Not always possible, but...
I don't know enough soccer rules. What is lost time?
I don't know if it's a real thing, but it's essentially... the ref can extend a half a little bit if there were, like, penalties or anything. Or if they just feel like it, I guess.
Okay.
I've noticed if there are fouls, the lost time period seems to be longer. And this is me just seeing how everybody's doing energy-wise. Later on, you'll be able to replace people who get tired with different players, but...
Right now you have no bench warmers?
we have nobody extra. In this game, unlike the Sega CD game, people do regain energy as long as they don't have the ball. They will slowly gain more energy. But having the ball, even if you just stand and do nothing, it slowly drains your energy.
Energy or guts?
Eh. It's officially guts, per the Japanese, and after this translation, but it works as energy, or if you want to be more, video gamey MP. What did I do here? Oh, just tried to grab the ball. And that gets us a penalty kick, because we were in their penalty area. The way these worked are, you pick somebody. And then you choose to kick the ball left, right, or middle, and the goalkeeper goes a direction. If they both choose the same, the goalkeeper gets a chance to stop it. If they don't, you probably get a point, but sometimes you can get super unlucky and it will hit the post.
I wish you had shot towards the middle and it hit the post.
I would have been very angry. Unlike the Sega CD game, the top bar does not factor in this one, to my knowledge. Only the side posts.
Ah. Okay.
Also, on very rare occasions, even if the goalkeeper jumps the right way, I have seen them miss, but it's not likely.
That was some wild hair.
Yeah, Babington's got some very distinctive hair.
I mean, Tsubasa has some wild hair too, but...
Just like in the Sega CD game, Tsubasa's got the heel lift, but no point in burning the energy on that.
I really like the way they have shortened tackle in this.
I decided to use the heel lift on the goalie instead, and here's the animation for it, it's kinda neat. The secret side benefit of doing a one-on-one with the goalie like that is, as long as if he just knocks it away and doesn't actually grab it, it leaves the enemy's goal open for a short time, and the goalie cannot try and stop a shot you take at all. But they have a pretty high chance of just grabbing it and throwing it to one of their players instead. Because there are four states that the goal can be in. There is totally normal. Goalkeeper is at his full abilities. If you do the through move, a goalkeeper can be distracted, which lowers their stats a little bit. If they block a particularly strong shot, or you get a lot of shots off in a short period, they can be down entirely, which lowers their stats even further. And if they come out of the goal and don't end up with the ball, that leaves the goal open, which they can't try and stop your shot, period, if that happens. These are important because there are later goalkeepers that are almost impossible to get shots by unless they're at least distracted.
I really like the shadow animation that they got there.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
It's like a Trojan man flexing at all times.
Yeah, and the goalkeeper coming out of the goal usually ends up like this one did, and he just grabs it. Unfortunately for him, his teammate that he gave it to just kicked it to one of my guys.
It really bothers me that they have a wider color palette than this and they still chose to make them purple-skinned.
This game is kind of a slaughter. Actually, I think I was thinking at the time that depending on who you score goals with, it might affect who levels up. But as you'll see at the end, it doesn't seem to be the case. I think matches are just worth a set amount in this.
Look at that, flexing Trojan man.
Incidentally, if any of you know how the experience in this works, feel free to let me know. Tried to catch that, but Leonard's a little not good enough. And just knocked it away instead. Really, Leonard's problem, and it's kind of a problem across goalkeepers that aren't Wakashimazu and Wakabayashi, is that goalkeepers in these games that don't have a special skill are just kind of bad.
Oh.
It's not too crippling in this first act of the game because none of the teams are particularly strong. But in the next part, where we're going to have a similarly just average dude goalkeeper, and it's going to be way worse. But we can talk about that when we get there, I guess. Oh man, that goalkeeper stopped something. See, now he's down, so...
He got back up to try.
Yeah, them being down doesn't prevent them from trying, it just really makes it unlikely. Unless they have a special ability, which can usually offset that. Which becomes extremely frustrating when you're facing an AI team, because they don't have to worry about costs. They can just spam their special stuff all day, and will definitely do so. Whereas later, when we get a goalkeeper with a special move, you can use it like maybe 4 times, and then he's out of energy and basically useless. Tsubasa wore himself out over the course of this match. He had like 700 guts to start with.
I was with that music change. Is that just time's almost up?
Yeah, that's the last 5 minutes.
Okay.
Does it each half. I think this will show the goal being open. If I'm right, I might just take a long shot, yeah. Because there was nobody else between us.
Oh.
Also, Tsubasa's special drive shot I will talk about later. I didn't use it this match because it's extremely overkill. Also drains a lot of energy. Slash guts. A lot of gut energy.
I'm trying to wonder if there's a joke about vomit in there, but I don't want to make it either.
Yeah, you don't like vomit very much, so...
Yeah. It's not my thing.
Number 9, shot. What do you think of Leonard? In his face.
Eh. He seems intense.
In all the Tsubasa games where Sao Paulo exists, Leonard remains the goalkeeper. And he remains pretty... average.
Poor Leonard.
He's never great.
Doomed to mediocrity forever.
He's got the same problem as Japan's Morisaki of just being a dude in a setting where there's some really crazy stuff. Although unlike Morisaki in the Sega CD version, Leonard has actually been, you know, useful. Hey, Carlos.
The rumor.
The rumor of their good player was true. So that about wraps up match 1 of this game, and yeah, look at all them people leveled up.
Versus Corinth.
Yeah, versus the Corinthians.
Okay.
But anyways, see you guys around. Later, guys.